Hey y'all, it's Kat from Cat Southern Charms, back with a new video. Today we're going to talk about something new we've never done on the channel before. We're going to use these temporary tattoos that were sent to me as a gift. Whoever sent them, thank you, if you can see this. I don't know who they came from. It was a nice little surprise, and I decided I wanted to use it two ways and show you guys the difference. One, I'm going to use as a lid to a jar. So from the top of the lid, we're going to see this cute little koala bear. See that? So that's one way we're going to use it. And then I decided, let's put some on a coaster. And what I want to do is I'm going to pour a thin layer of clear resin to separate these little flamingos. And then the next layer, I may hand paint some trees. I haven't decided yet. And I may just outline it with some real quartz crystals. So I don't know, we have to decide on that. And I don't know what color I want to make my jar. Do I want to go with silver? Do I want to go with a gray? Do I want to go with a marble? I don't know, you'll help me decide. We'll see. Because I've already made my decision by the time you see this video. We'll see the outcome of that. But I'm going to post a vote in the community tab of my channel. Look there periodically, because I ask for your feedback. I want you to tell me what color we should use, what technique we should try, things like that. I'll always ask for your input. So if you haven't subscribed to the page yet, subscribe to my channel. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Give this a thumbs up. It lets other artists find us. But let's get back to our project at hand. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to mix some resin, and I'm going to pour this layer because I want it to cure. And I haven't decided if I want to put stencils behind this. And y'all have seen some of my other projects that I used stencils on. I put the stencil down, I use a mica powder, and I brush over the stencil, carefully lift that up, and the stencil's left behind. So we can make some background with that, or, I don't know, I'll decide. Maybe I just want to color a marble pink and white background, because this is what we're going to see on the front of the coaster. So, first things first, let me mix up some resin, pour this layer, let it cure, then we're going to come back and we're going to mix up resin, and I'm thinking I might just marble this, y'all. I might do it with gray and white, and because it's a koala, maybe I'll add some green marble in there for eucalyptus trees. Tell me what you think about that. I think that's what I'm going to do with this jar, and we'll see how it turns out. If we don't like it, we can always make a new one. But I'm going to go mix some resin, get this poured, we'll let it cure. When we come back, we're going to move into the next steps, and either I will use some real quartz crystals, or I will use some glitter glass to line the inside here. And I think I might use this glitter glass. I want to save this quartz crystal for my geodes. That's coming soon in a video too. So I'm gonna go mix some resin, get it poured. I'll be back in a minute. Grab a drink, grab a snack. I'll see you in a few. Hey y'all, we're back. This layer has cured. You see our cute little flamingo here, and we just added aquarium gravel. It's just rocks that you put in your aquariums. They work perfectly fine in resin, and I thought, what a cute little highlight that is. So what I've done is I've mixed up some resin, separated it out. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this in a minute, but we have little amounts separated out because I'm going to marble. That's what I decided to do. I'm going to marble the effects, but for our koala lid, I'm going to do something extra down at the top of our lid, and I'm going to use some glitter glass. So what I have is clear. I'm going to add some glitter glass, pour this clear along here, the outer rim of the lid, and then we're going to do that marble background for the top. And we're going to pour the marble for the jar itself. And for this one, I'm going to marble white with this pink. I know it looks red, but it's like a hot pink tint. It's transparent, but it's going to add a lot of cute details to the white when we add that and marble it as a final layer for that one. I have, I decided I couldn't decide if I wanted to do the green or the Tiffany blue. I'm going to go with Tiffany blue for this one, and gray to accentuate our koala. And I'm doing the Tiffany blue as a highlight because we know koalas love eucalyptus leaves, right? So we're going to do that. I have some little sparkle I'm going to put in there. And of course I have my white. That's going to be my base for all the marbling. So I'm going to mix my white in here. And you know, I told you guys when. Well, let me do this first. I want to get this poured in, this lid first. I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to set all my colors off so they're not in the way. And I have plenty of room to pour this. So first things first, I want to pour my lid, the clear with the crushed glass. That's really super sparkly, y'all. This is German glitter glass, and it is awesome. So for now, let me move everything over out of the way for our other marbling. And let's get this glitter glass done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sprinkle some glitter glass along this rim. I'm just gonna turn it around, add a little more as we go. Yeah, wasn't this beautiful? I really, really, really love this glitter glass. It just adds that extra little pizzazz to our pieces that make it stand out. And when I pour this resin in here, it's gonna mix down. And I'm gonna clean up all that's on the top where we're gonna put our marbling. So I'm gonna put my lid on because I don't want this spilling everywhere, and set the glass to the side. First thing I want to do is I'm just gonna clean this up with, of course, you know, I have my handy dandy baby wipes. And I want to be careful because I don't want to mess up this tattoo that we added, right? Okay, so I think we've got all that aside. So I'm gonna squeeze this cup and I'm gonna pour this along the edges. And if I get some on top, it's all right. It's all right. Just gonna move this around. All right. There is that. I'm gonna pour the rest of this clear back in my clear that I'm going to use to mix my base, which is the white. And I usually have all my colors and everything mixed because I don't like making super long videos for you guys. I like kind of keeping them on the shorter side because I know you'll have a lot to do, right? So I'm just gonna work this down, and I want to squeeze around to push any air up. See how I'm just squeezing? And I call this pinch and squeeze. Right there's a bubble that came to the top. That's good. All right, and I'm gonna tap it like I would tap a cake. You know how you tap cake on your counter to get the bubbles to rise to the top? That is the same thing with this. All right, so we're gonna let that sit. Wipe my gloves down. All right, now we're gonna mix up the rest of our colors and we're gonna start our marbling. This little small amount is where I'm gonna use my pink in, because remember I have this big jar to fill too, so I need more coloring from the gray and the blue. Oop, I almost forgot I had this unscrewed. Let's wipe my stick. What I always say about your paste, stir it, because you don't want it separated. Sometimes the additives in this paste can separate and we don't want that. We want to make sure we get it good and combined. And you see there's not hardly anything on my stick. I'm putting that in the white and it's gonna be enough. So we're gonna set this to the side. I'm going to, whoop, one drop. Y'all, this really wanted to, look at that. This stuff comes out quick, so you gotta be really careful. And I always wipe my caps off. See that? It's on my glove. One drop in there. Isn't that crazy? And I might add a little white to that to pale it down some. So let's get some stirrers. See this, y'all? It's like a cranberry, and I don't want it that cranberry. I want it lighter. So I will add a few drizzle of my white paste in here to soften it from this darker. But that's a pretty color, isn't it? It is like a cranberry. And see how it stays transparent? Because this is a tint. Remember our little chart where we talk about paste and tints? And transparent ink and tints are the same thing. They will always stay transparent no matter how much you put in there. It will never be opaque. It's always going to remain see-through. And that is what we want. So that is an example of a tint. I don't use them very often, but when I do use them, I like to point them out, because a lot of people don't see or hear a lot of things about tints compared to transparent colors. I'm going to wipe some of this off my stick, because I want to make sure that I'm getting all of this paste incorporated. And I don't know if y'all can see, but there's not a lot of room on that flamingo to add a back layer. So it's not going to take very much at all. I have to be careful with that. We have our white base for our marbling now. And now I want you to see, I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. I want you to see what happens when I add just a little bit of white to this. I'll set this to the side and watch how it lightens it up. So it's not as dark, that dark cranberry anymore. It's a lighter pink. It still has that purple undertone because that's what cranberry or maroon has, a blue or purple undertone to the color. I like that better. All right, maybe I'm gonna add a little more white. I'm gonna add a little more because I really want to lighten this up. All right, that's better. See that? That's better. All right, so now we add our gray. Let me get a stick. This big stick. I guess so. So for gray, we're gonna have our big stick, and I'm mixing it all up. And remember, when I open these for the first time, I leave some of this oil on top so I can more easily wipe my stick off. And it doesn't get on the side of my jar, which can cause your lids to stick or make it hard to open for the next time you want to use it. And then we have our, y'all, I love this color. Whoop. I'm gonna throw that away because it wants to stick really bad. We have our Tiffany blue. We're gonna mix this around. All right, I'm gonna wipe it on the underside since I don't have that oil. I'm gonna try to wipe it like so. All right, we have our Tiffany blue. Close this up. And I want to add a little sparkle to our white. And I'm gonna show y'all. There's our white, like so. And I'm gonna add just a little scoop of this. See how shimmery that is? There we go. And this is abalone shell from Color Art, from their Bling It series. Y'all, it adds so much sparkle. It's beautiful. I love using this in my pieces because it just brightens it all up. All right, so we have some abalone shell, and I'm gonna mix all my sides, make sure it's all combined. And you can see the sparkle. You see that sparkle in there? Beautiful. All right, gotta find another cup to, well, let's use some of our baby cups to marble in. Okay, I'm gonna set these to the side. Let's start with our flamingo. Let me put that to the side. And I'm just gonna put some white in here. And I'm telling y'all, this is not gonna take a lot. So here is our pink that we're gonna add and marble in. And all I'm gonna do, y'all, is drizzle some. I don't want a lot because I don't want this to overtake. So remember, when I marble, I go down, up, and that's it. And I let it do its thing. Now we're gonna add this. And I'm telling y'all, this is all this is gonna take. And it's gonna be a beautiful background. And I'm just gonna spread it out to the edge. There we go. We have our backing for our flamingo. And any of these little edges I can just trim up, no big deal. I'm gonna wipe my stick because I'm gonna be using the stick to create all of my marbling. Now, I want to set this aside because what I wanna make next is I want this marbling for this lid, okay? So again, I'm gonna add white. And I'm gonna drizzle, oh, I didn't even stir these, y'all. My bad. Let me mix this Tiffany blue up. And I'm just gonna drizzle some in there. Mix up my gray. Y'all, I love these. Aren't these beautiful colors? Beautiful. Add some gray. More koala colors. Set these out of the way. And remember, down, up, down, up. I'm not stirring this because I don't want it mixed together. I just want it to form this beautiful little marbling that we have here. And it looks like that was the perfect amount. I couldn't have done that better if I were trying. Look at that. All right. We'll set this aside, wipe my stick down. So we're ready for the next one. Now, I want to squeeze for any bubbles to come up. All right, I'm leaving that alone. We're gonna give these some spritz, and then we're gonna mix the body, the jar. So I'm gonna use this. And I'm gonna drizzle my gray, a little more. I'm going to add our Tiffany blue. Y'all, isn't this such a gorgeous color? Love it. What girl doesn't love Tiffany blue, right? So we have those mixed, and I'm gonna down, up, and this one I'm gonna do a few times because I really want that. All right. Before I before I pour this model, y'all, mold, I'm spraying it with alcohol. That will help prevent bubbles. And then I'm just pouring. And we have our marbling, y'all see that? Y'all, I can't believe this. Down around the sides of my jar to bring any bubbles, and they're coming to the top and popping. That's exactly what we want. Almost the perfect amount, y'all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour them together. Just pour these together for the last little bit. Look, we have a bubble that just popped, and now we have the perfect amount. Y'all, look at that. I could not have planned it better. Isn't that crazy? Okay. Voila. Let me clean these little sides up. And I'm gonna take my little, and I'm gonna push this down. Like that. All right, there we go. We have it all poured. Clean up these little edges like so. Done deal, y'all. Now we just gotta let them cure. See, this is running south a little, so I did not check level. Shame on me. I tell y'all that all the time, right? Check your level. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use one of my dotting tools, and I'm just gonna swirl this around. Oh, look at that. Had a friend hanging out in there. Y'all know I got huskies. There we go. Okay, we're done. Now we just gotta let it all set up. So be on the lookout. We'll be back in a few. For you guys, it'll be a minute. For me, it's gonna be a little bit longer. Clean up my mess here. Put everything in my handy dandy trash I have here. Get it all cleaned up so we're ready for our next activity. And that will be unmolding these beauties. So stay tuned for that. Tell me, do you like these color choices? Would you have chosen something different for this project? What do you think? Are you surprised that you can use fish tank gravel? Doesn't that open so many different options for you guys and possibilities? I love the colors of those. Anyway, let me get all this cleaned up. We'll be back to unmold these beautiful things, show you how it worked. I still can't believe using simple temporary tattoos brought us to this piece. I'm shocked, y'all. Did y'all know this would work like that? I wasn't sure. We'll see you when we unmold them. Stay tuned. Refill your drink. We'll be right back. Hey, y'all. We're back. These are done. These are all complete. Finite. So, let's take a look at our coaster first. And we do have some trimming. I already know I'll be trimming the edges. Set that to the side. All right, are you ready? Look at that, y'all. Isn't that cute? I'm just gonna take my scissors quick. Trim this off. These are not my good fabric scissors, y'all. I have them on the other side. But you can see how beautiful this is. You know, I love this. This turned out really good. And I love these. There we go. Get that trimmed off. Alright, done with that. You know, isn't that so pretty? Look at those rocks. And like I told you, it is just aquarium rocks. Like you would put in your aquarium with your fish. That's all it is. And we put it in with our coaster with our little flamingos. All done. I can feel this tattoo here. So what I will do is I'm going to do our little trick with our white school blue. I'm going to paint the back of this and seal it. And then I'm going to do a top coat. I'm just going to set this. I'll show you how I do it. I'm going to set it up on a cup. And then I'm going to pour a top coat to seal this tattoo in place. Because remember, we adhered these tattoos. And I'll show you. That's the one thing I didn't do before I started. I'll show you how we do that. These are perforated, which I really like because it means they come apart real easy. We're just going to do this lizard. Alright, we're going to do the lizard. And all I did to stick these down is, let me get I used the white. And these are just like tattoos you put on your kids. It has a clear cover to cover the tattoo, and then it has the white backing. So you want to peel the cover off, and we're going to place our tattoo And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna ball it up, and I'm just gonna press and get that wet. Because it's like putting it on your kids. Remember, you would wet a paper towel or get it damp and just press and apply it. You can do it with a little baby wipe. Just ball it up and press. That's all I did to get these adhered. And then we gently pull it off. And there you go. It is attached, ready to go. Now, if you don't want to have to do a top coat on this, you can easily pour a clear coat in your coaster, let that cure, then place your tattoo on that, and then pour another thin clear layer to lock that in, and then add your backing, whatever you want to add. I'm really glad that we did this, and you can see some of the pink in the background. It's still see-through. You see my fingers, right? And you can see the little pink highlights, little streaking and stripes in there. That turned out really cute, y'all. I love it. So now you know how easy it is to apply tattoos to silicone, and you can create your own little design. Close that. Move that to the side. Oh, and I want to show you something else. I had some leftover rocks, and I put in my resin cup and stirred and mixed it up, and I just dumped it in a mold. So I create a little form that I can put in another project. So if I want to add this to, maybe I want to put it in a clock, I can add little forms with some fish, whatever I want to do. So you can use these little rocks like this and create your own little forms to go in another piece. And I added some crushed glass to give it that little sparkle. You see the sparkle? So pretty. Anyway, all right. Now, let's move on. We'll take this out. And I do have my, if you have problems getting your mold to release your piece, this is a very simple way to do it. This spritz bottle has a few drops of Dawn dish detergent. You see how it bubbles up, and I added water in it. And to get your piece out, you simply squirt some of the soap mixture, separate the top of your mold, spray the soap mixture down, and then you're just gonna work it. I just work it around the outside with my fingers. I wanna work it down into the mold so everything releases. And you can see how easy it's releasing at the bottom, right? So now we're going to flip it like so and just pull it out. Ta-da! I'm gonna, well, I'll do a flipping that in a minute. Set it to the side so it's out of the way. This is still a little uncured, so we're gonna let it set. But there is our marbled piece, and it's got the glitter, because remember we put the abalone shell in to give it that little sparkle with the marble. So we're gonna let this sit to the side so it can finish hardening up and curing. But I like that. That turned out really cute, y'all. And now to get our lid out. That has, ooh. We're gonna be very careful. You know what? I don't think this is, we're gonna let this sit overnight because this is still, yep, it's leaving fingerprints. See, my little fingerprints are in there. So we're gonna let this sit overnight and finish curing. But you can see our koala bear through there. That's gonna be the top of our lid. So we're just gonna let this finish curing. And I had some leftover pink, these little flowers, so I can use them in another project. And I can use my metallic pens and paint a highlight on those to really bring them to life. And they'll be ready to go in another project. There we go. So we have those little pieces. Those are done. But that's all there is to it, y'all. So I am going to let this cure overnight. And at the end of the video, I'm going to post a picture of the finished project. The lid on our jar. This is completely finished. So that's all done. What do you think? Are you going to try some of these temporary tattoos after seeing how easy it is to place them in your mold? And you can put them, like I said, on resin that's cured, or you can put it directly on your silicone mold. But you need to either use UV resin to seal this, or just pour a top coat over this and it'll be fine. So that's it, y'all. That's all we have for this one. Until next time, make sure you give this a thumbs up. That lets other artists find our channel and all of our projects we do together. And subscribe. That doesn't cost anything, and it really helps my channel out. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And I will have all the colors that I used linked in the description of the video. So if you want to try this, or you love these colors, you want to grab some, all the links will be in the description. Just click the link, it'll take you right there. Make it easy for you guys. But that's all we have for now. So until next time, happy arting. Ta-ta for now. Hey y'all, I know I said I was done, but guess what? I took the lid out. It's so cute. Look at the glitter glass. It's so adorable. Our cute little koala. He's adorable too. Anyway, I failed. I messed this up. And I'm showing you so you don't make the same mistake I did. I should have left this clear. And that is why. You cannot see the koala from the side. He's hidden. Which is fine because I can either add some cute little flowers or something on top, or I can add another tattoo up top, or I can just leave it like it is so when you open your jar, hello, there's a koala hiding. Anyway, I had to show you that. It was a fail. And it was so cute. It turned out adorable. I love those colors in the background. But anyway, that's a fail. But here's a pro tip for you. And I meant to mention this, and I don't remember if I did in the video. When you make a jar, do not put your lid on your jar and screw it down as soon as you take it out of the mold. It is, it is still curing. And if you do that, you put your lid on, screw it down, it's gonna cure together, and you're never gonna get this lid off without messing up your whole piece. So, pro tip, let this lid and this jar cure separately, not together. I say at least 3 to 4 days. I let mine sit separate for 7, just to be on the safe side to be sure. And I think I might leave the koala on the inside and maybe add something decorative, some rhinestones or something on the top. And I think, I don't know, I'll have to think of something. But for now, I had to share this with you all so I can get this video up. I want you to see the how-to. But, y'all, that marbling turned out so cute. You see the grays in it, the Tiffany blue, with him in the background. It's so adorable. So I might put another koala on top. We'll see. I have to go through all these stickers to find another one. That's my task for the day, and get this video uploaded for you. So y'all, until next time, be sure, give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding that bell so you don't miss the next one's coming, because I have some really cool ones coming you don't want to miss. But until then, y'all, happy arting. Grab a mug on your way out. I personally designed all those mugs. There's some really cute ones. Like, I run on resin, sarcasm, and coffee, I think is what I put. So, I'm good at busting bubbles. Anyway, there's quite a few mugs in there. Click the link, check out the mugs, grab one, carry a little bit of me with you. Anyway, y'all, until next time, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.